Hello, Fundamentals of Design class. This is your 5th slideshow for our series, and we're going to be focusing on plants this week. In this photo, you have two peace lilies sitting side by side. The botanical name for peace lily is spathiphyllum. They are a real common plant for people to send for bereavement, so I think that's why people call them peace lilies. I love them because they're a very forgiving plant to raise due to the fact that if you forget to water them, their leaves get droopy and bend over. But as soon as you water them, they perk right back up, and they don't sustain a lot of damage from a little bit of neglect. They have beautiful white blossoms that are kind of ellipse shaped, and one of the most common plants sold in the floral trade. Boston fern is a lovely house plant, particularly when it is hanging, because it has long, slender stems that have hundreds of tiny leaves that arch over, and it's a pretty sheddy house plant. That's something to know, to let a customer know when they come to buy one. Also, it has slender stems that radiate out from the center of the plant that look like leafless stems, and actually they're breathers. There are occasionally leafless stems, but you don't want to cut off the breathers. They're important for the plant's health. The Boston fern needs medium indoor light and regular waterings. It does not like to get dry, and it doesn't recover well if it's if you've let it get too dry. Boston fern. Ficus are a wonderful plant for indoors and outdoors for that matter. They're very tolerant to neglect, which makes them one of my personal favorites. And you can get the variegated like you see here, or the non-variegated. And they're just really a great plant for medium to bright light. You don't want to put them in a low light situation. They don't love low light. And they need to be watered about once a week, but like I said, they will tolerate neglect as long as you soak them to bring them back. They can also be planted outside in warmer climates. We had one in Southern California that we planted in our yard, and it became a huge tree in our yard. That was a ficus. Kalanchos are a very common blooming plant sold in flower shops. They come in whites, pinks, reds, coral, orange, yellow. They are in the succulent group of plants, so they require bright light and medium watering to infrequent watering. They are okay if you let them get overly dry. You can rehydrate them. So that's Kalancho. Monstera is a houseplant with a lot of personality. The one you're looking at right now is a young plant, so the leaves are pretty much intact, they're whole, and then as the leaves get bigger and grow, they develop these splits in them that is really interesting and beautiful. They like medium sunlight, medium indoor light. They don't like darkness, but they don't like to be in direct light either, and they like medium watering. This is an older plant that we've had at the flower shop for as long as me and Ryan have owned it. It's a gorgeous plant. So I put this older one in here too. And thurium plants are a wonderful plant because of their longevity and how long the blossoms stay on the plant. I've taken lots of anthuriums home, actually my kids have, and they just do so well. And they're another plant that will tolerate infrequent waterings and still thrive. They like medium to bright indoor light and medium watering. They come in pinks, reds, purples, whites, and thurium. Prayer plant are a houseplant that likes medium light, medium waterings. There's lots and lots of different types of prayer plants that vary greatly, but one thing that they all have in common is a center ridge down the oval-shaped leaf, and then raised. In this plant, you can see there's like pink. It's like these raised veins that come out from the center of the leaf. So all prayer plants have that. Phalaenopsis orchid are a very common plant sold both in flower shops and grocery stores. The most common ones you see are the solid white ones, although this one is really beautiful. It has the really pretty fuchsia colored veins, and they come in all different colors, pinks, lavenders, whites, greens, even kind of yellow tones, brown tones. Phalaenopsis orchid. Bromeliads are a beautiful blooming plant with a very tropical feel. They are in the pineapple family, and you can get them with red blossoms, purple, pink, I think white. Yes, bromeliad. And they have long skinny leaves that radiate out from the center, medium white, light, and medium water. Snake plant is a perfect plant for low light or even no light situations. They can come with solid green leaves, or this more variegated color with different stripes of yellows and different shades of green. The leaves are very rigid. They're not flexible. They're rigid and upright, and they like they like medium to no light, and like once a week watering, once every 7 to 10 days. Pothos are one of the most common plants sold in flower shops, as well as one of the most hard to kill plants on the face of the earth, especially in terms of house plants. They can be neglected for a very long time, and their leaves get all wilty, and you water them and they come right back. You can plant them in dirt. You can take cuttings and grow them in water. They really don't have a lot of specific picky needs like a lot of houseplants. They're very easy to propagate and to keep alive. And they come in lots of different types, so many different types, variegated, non-variegated, different shades of yellows and whites in the leaves. Some of them even have the little like holes in the leaves. It's very beautiful. So pothos. Arrowhead is a plant that is commonly sold in flower shops. It has these beautiful variegated leaves that are in the shape of an arrowhead or a triangle, and it likes medium indoor light and medium amount of water, so once every 7 to 10 days. Arrowhead.